Hello, everyone. Today, we are releasing another episode of Clac Cast. We spoke to Philippe Guerdat, head coach of the Brazilian show jumping team. Guerdat was the coach of the 2016. He was also coach for the teams of Ukraine, Spain, and Swiss for young riders. And as a rider, he represented Switzerland in the Olympics Games, World Equestrian Games, and European Championships. In 2019, he started work with Team Brazil. Since then, our nation won 2 individual gold medals, a team gold medal, and a team bronze medal at the Pan-American Games. In addition to that, some victories and placings in Nations Cups. Currently, he is in the observation phase to choose the team that will represent our country in the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. I hope you all enjoy our conversation. Leave comments and likes if you do. Thank you very much, Philippe, for accepting and joining us today.
Pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Fantastic. Philippe, where are you right now?
Right now, I'm in Switzerland.
Philippe, how actually happens your day-to-day base as a head coach? How do you keep track of the horses and the shows? Do you use Clip My Horse? Do you actually, the riders send you the videos? What is the job? And how does you actually do it right now?
Normally I go to many shows normally, but now also I have been I had some problems myself, so I was a little bit less to the shows. But today with Clip My Horse, I have a lot of video to watch, and we have a special channel in Brazilian. Some people is taking all the videos and he sent to me and to the president and to Pedro, and we can watch and discuss about this. And after I can discuss with the riders.
What is the main job? What is your main job? What is your decisions, and how do you actually help the riders?
Yeah, okay. I speak a lot when the season is on the way. I speak a lot with them because sometimes I'm, like I told you, I am not there, but I can see a lot of videos, even if it's not the same. And I have to make the selection. I have to look, and some invitation are coming for this show and this show. And now I have to make the first selection for Abu Dhabi for the team. And now I am working on to make the selection for the team for Ocala.
Well, and how is that? How do you do that? What's the decisions, and what do you look into before making up a team?
Yeah, it's not a new competition, starting a little bit too early because, the season is long. It's not everybody who is ready now to go. Some people, they want also to save the horses for later on, and it's complicated to make team now. In Abu Dhabi, it was not so complicated, but Ocala is more complicated.
Well, we had this pleasure of watching you up close in Santiago. How was it for you, the Pan Am Games?
It's difficult to say because it was a fantastic win from Stefan, but I'm still disappointed that we didn't win gold in the team because we had the road open and didn't work like we wanted. And it's like this, it's a sport. But I think we were really close to win the team also, and something happened with one horse. Other horse was not in best shape, and after we went third. But at least we make a medal, but we was close to be out of the medals. And the individual was Stefan, fantastic, and Pedro was good also. One mistake of the medals. Okay. But I was injured, a broken leg, and it was complicated for me because I like when we are in championship to be close with the rider, to spend a lot of time with them, and there was not so easy. I was more in beds than with my riders.
Well,
I hope I give you answer.
No, you did, of course. I think you gave us some of the most, for me at least, were quite impressive shots. There's this shot of you in Lima, a picture of you handing Marlon the Brazilian flag, but there's also a fantastic picture of you with Stefan holding you, crying. Tell a little bit about what do you feel whenever riders win?
It's not so easy to explain, because some people think I am Swiss, and I was never able to work for the Swiss rider because of my son, so it was not possible. But when I go to another team, I was in France, I was in Belgium, now I'm in Brazil. I live for this because it's my passion. And when the riders, I know how difficult it is, how hard work is it. And when one is going to win, is for me, the best. I think it's like if I win, because it's also a result. We say we make the right decision, and because sometimes I make not the right decision, and I accept this also, because if you are coach, you cannot always pick up the best team. You try to do it, but after, if one horse is not going well, it is more or less your mistake. You take a horse who was not ready or was not in good shape to make this. You know, we always have a special relation to one or two riders, and Stefan is young, and I know how hard worker he is, and trying to do everything the best way, and jumping in Brazilian, flying to Europe, jumping in Europe, flying back to Brazilian. And I appreciate a lot that, because 1 year before we were talking about trying the mare to come in Europe and to make championship, and I said, now we wait a little bit, and I think we did everything right with her, because she's not that young, but she was not ready to come in Europe.
Talking about specific about Stefan, you were actually quite close to him on the
not just to him, but I like him very much because he's young and he's the future of your team.
Of course, no. I was going to say, because he actually it was quite a journey for him, because in the last Olympic teams, he was actually trying for a spot with Artois, had a really bad fall, and was out of the run
Selection.
for it.
Yeah.
And what was your role on keeping him motivated and his head on? What is your role as a coach? Because again, I'm going to talk about soon about what happened to Marlon specific in the Pan Ams. How can you help them and keep them their mind safe and sound?
Yeah, that is my job, but it's just by talking, because I have to be involved. Cannot explain this, but I am very close to a lot of riders. I know about the private life. I know when they have problems, I know they can talk to me, and after you have to make the decision. But what's happened because you are talking about Stefan in Sangala is fault, but for me, I give everybody a chance. But there he was not, I don't think he will be qualified, even if he don't fall in Sangala. It will be difficult for him because the horse was not anymore so fresh. But his decision, I cannot say in advance, because can change. But I was not really a horse I was counting with. If I am nice, but I don't say this because this year is exactly the same. I have 2 or 3. I think they have not really a top chance, but in the end, maybe they are going to make it. And this is this part of the job is very important, but I like this part also. I'm not a psychologist, but I like to talk to them and to, like Marlon, like you said, I push him to take this horse because he had just lose some horses. One was lame and he was not really hot, and I push him, and he was motivated like hell. He won the first class. And after, we don't know exactly what happened with the mare, because she jumped the first part of the class really good. But it was maybe a mistake of me to take this horse. But after, I spoke to him, and it's my role to motivate him to come back. And now he's back, his new horses, and he will go to Abu Dhabi. I will go to Ocala. I mean, because he's a great rider, a fantastic team player, and He's one of the best rider in the world. So we have to help him. But it's normal. You have sometimes with all the best riders, I have sometimes a year who is difficult or more difficult, and we cannot change this with the horses. We need to improve the horses, and after we can come back. But in the beginning, when the rider wants to try anyway, it's not going to work. But he was not like this, Marlon. He's not like this.
Philippe, we actually had quite a few goals from the past few years. We had Barcelona to qualify for the Olympics. And then, of course, we had the Pan Ams. But I think everything now is talking about Paris. So what's the plan for 2024?
I will tell you the truth, what I think. I said we are in this qualification with the 10 teams for the Super League. I would like to qualify for Barcelona with just 8 teams going, but it's difficult because we have to change the rider. We have to try to give a chance to everybody who has a chance to go to Olympic in the same time. And for me, everything is focused on the Olympics. But I say always, and I can repeat this in front of you, we are one of the 10 best teams in the world, but we are not first or second. We are 10th in this list. And okay, this list is going by ranking, but and I don't ask too much from the ranking, but I mean, we are just the last team who is qualified for this series, and there I will make my opinion and a few different shows, and I want to make the team not as soon as possible, but I would like to go to Rotterdam with more or less the team from Paris, more or less. But maybe until there, I will have one horse in jury, one horse who cannot jump there for any crowds. So it's a plan, but with horses, the plan is complicated because you have a horse who will be fantastic in the beginning of the season after going down. Another one will be down in the beginning, who will be fantastic after. We have also, I must say, 1 or 2 horses who are not so young. So we have to protect them, but we have to try also hard to have the 4 best riders combination to go to Paris. And this is the main goal, because I want to be a team in Paris. I want everybody to fight for everybody, because for me, we were in Tokyo, we were 6, and everybody was saying, yeah, 6. But for me, it was a success because we're not fantastic horses, and to be 6 and to beat France and England and Germany and Ireland, I mean, it was a good result. Not everybody can win, huh? We all try, but not everybody can, because there were other teams who were stronger than we, and they were behind us in the end. But when you are in one federation, they just look what the team did. So it was a hard time there, but for me, it was, in the end, when I watch every result, it was a good Olympics. But I don't say I want to be 6 in Paris, but I mean, just in case of the result, the other one, we have to be on the podium. You have to beat Germany, Ireland, England, France, Switzerland, Netherlands. They are bigger horses countries than we are. I mean, the times I've been in the top is totally different. Brazil had been living with 1 or 2 stars before, and now I think it's growing up. When I was 5 years ago, when I wanted to make a team, I just have 3 riders and 2 horses, and now it's different. We move up, and a lot of people try hard, and it's easier to make selection, because I will have some problems this year, but it's a problem of a seleccionado. I mean, it's better to have to choose. Okay, not everybody will be happy with my choice, but it's better when you can choose.
Very good. Philippe, you have 2, actually, well, we actually have this, you have 2 riders from Team Brazil with new horses, right? You have the horse from Special Marathon that are now with Yuri and Marlon. And we talked with the Zanotelli family the other day, and they were actually counting on the new horses to might be a possibility for the Olympics. or
Yeah.
for at least trying for the teams. How do you how can you in such a short time understand these new duos?
Yeah, okay, it's complicated, but we decided with Marlon to try really. I hope because he's such a rider and he can adapt to every horse. And we make a program, and now we will be in a team 2 times in a row. And okay, there's not new horses in Abu Dhabi, but he will have in Ocala. And it's a main process who is short, but with a rider with his quality, if the horses make the jump in the right direction, it's possible. For Yuri has also other horses who are more in front of this one he get. And I will not say it's going everything okay with Marlon and not with Yuri or reverse, but I hope because we have a new owner and not a new owner, but he's new because he had 2 riders now riding horses of him, and that it's important. We never speak enough about owners, but I like to always thank the owners, but I don't know all because some are never coming to the show. But I am a guy who, a good rider or a fantastic rider, when he no horses, is just a working man. Huh? He's not a sportman.
Absolutely true. Philippe, I can be mistaken here. It's my opinion, but I don't believe we ever have so many good names and good riders and horses in this short list. We have Luciana coming back for the team. We have Marlon. Well, I won't talk all of them because I might leave
You
someone.
can, you can. I will help you if you are wrong.
But we have like Rodrigo, Marlon, Pedro, Yuri, Luciana is back. We had Fabio's with amazing horse that's just been sold, right? Elex.
You forget Stefan, huh?
Of course, Stefan, for sure. Well, there's plenty, but what do you think it's the difference, and how can you? What is the expectations for that team? It's a harder job.
No. It's like I said before. I like better to have problem with selection because I have too many than reverse. But with horses, it's coming. One horse will be injured, one horse will be jumping worse. In the end, we will be happy to have 4 because I have also some horses who are short. But you see, I take Felipe Azevedo in Abu Dhabi because he has fantastic mare, but she's green, and I want to give everybody a chance and try to make the best team because I'm working for the federation. The federation is not the main goal of the federation is not to have one guy on the podest individual. The main goal for the federation is to be the best team possible. And I've always been working like this. Even when I won in Rio with France, I had not one qualify for the second round in the individual. But everything was perfect because we won gold in a team. And this is, for me, the main goal is not saying this rider has more chance than this one and to select him, to protect him, because we make always mistake. I protect some horses for Tokyo. I was not right because I was not ready to go. And I make many mistakes with Tokyo, but I accept this because in this time I didn't know what was wrong or what was not good enough, and this one I have a fantastic vet, but when we decide that we can try with this one and in the end it's not working, it's possible this year also, So we have to be careful about what we say, what we talk to the riders, and I don't want one guy who think he's out now and he has no chance. I mean, I have not 20 to select, but I have 7, 8 names who are in position to hope to go to Paris. But I will not have one guy who is just want to be selected for Paris. I want fighter to go and to win something.
It took my attention that you've been talking a lot about mistakes and your mistakes. You keep putting the pressure on you. How to deal with the pressure and the possibility of making mistakes as a head coach?
I'm nearly the oldest one who is doing this job. I know many many coaches who say, no, this one, he fucked me out. And I say, yeah, but he fucked you out, but why are you taking him in the team? And, I must say this job is complicated. I know a lot of coach for a different sport, but with horses, we have to make with an athlete and with a horse. So it's more difficult to find the right way. And okay, the coach in football, they are going for 1.5 year or 2 years, and after they are fired. But in our sport, it's not possible this also, because you should change every year. I mean, it's always a period who's easier because you have 2, 3 top jockey with top horses, and you are going to win a lot. Against the other one who are as good as you, but I'm not the same material at this moment. But you have to live with this and to accept after, to not to be criticism, because I don't like this word, but yeah, to say you make a mistake because you take this horse who was not ready to make this. But before, when you take it, because I take always a white page and I put name, but I promise you, I have more. I always say that I have much more relations with 2 or 3 riders, because it's normal. Because I am affective, so you have people who are closer with them. But when I make my selection, I forget this. I can put I have nearly 2 or 3 friends. I mean, more than just athlete in my team. But they will never have a chance more than another one, because in the end, I work for the federation, and the federation want result, and I try to do the best result. But I make mistakes. That's true. It's not to go away from this problematic, because it exists.
In 2019, you actually said in an interview that you chose to work with Team Brazil because you still had dreams to fulfill. What were these dreams? And are you still going this way? Like, are you still going towards them?
Yeah, I hope. I don't want to say more, but I hope. But I have one word in mind. It's always difficult for me to talk about me, but I have one thing I have the passion what I'm doing. I have the passion of horses and the passion of people who are riding. Okay, not with everybody the same, but this feeling is for me. And the decision I said is right decision from sport. I don't want a team with a little bit, how you say this, not, but already done now, because now it's easy. We can make the team to go to Olympic now. If you take the result of last year, you take Stefan, you take Rodrigo, and you take Yuri, and you have the team. But it's not like this. We don't know if the mare from Yuri will jump good again. We don't know if the horse from Rodrigo will be the same like last year. We have Luciana now, who's jumping. She make 2 good shows now just to prepare it Abu Dhabi, and she's a strong rider. We have Pedro, we have Marlon will be with new horses. And all these things, to put them together, is the main job I have. Because, like I told you, I want a team. I don't want 3 or 4 individuals in my team. Because like this, you never win. You never win. Never. You can be good, but you never win. A winning team is always a team. It's also I had to understand, because you are South America is another mentality than my mentality. So I have to learn and to understand. And this one is always half an hour too late. And because normally I don't accept this, but this one is your mentality. So I have to make also some concession with my art of work, but I make it. It's not a problem, but it's not easy for me, because it's always against my my culture.
What do you enjoy? You're really passionate about your job. You talk about passion a lot.
Yeah.
What is the thing you enjoy the most about being a head coach? and why you're so passionate about it?
So main thing is I want to be good. Of I win or not win, but good. And when I am, it's complicated for me to explain. I am not a guy from a kiss and cry. When we win or we are good, I disappear, because this is for riders, it's for the horses of the rider, it's not for the coach. The coach will just make his job, but I don't know I don't like all this interview with a coach who say how that makes a good choice. And no, if you win, sure you make something good, but it's not your job to go on a kiss and cry and to explain this to everybody. No, but it's a character thing, and I am not like this. So I accept the other one also. It's not that I don't accept, but if you can describe me, I am not a guy of the kiss and cry. You understand this?
Absolutely fantastic.
Good.
You actually were talking about, again, back in 2019 when we talked last time, you were talking that you were going to do the Tokyo and that was it. You're going to be done after it.
Yeah.
Why did you change your mind?
Good question. Because I get sick and I had cancer, but now I was in hospital a lot last year, and I tell you, when I am not in the show or no idea of the show, I think my life is empty. So I try to continue because I asked me, but I like this. If I will know I will come to 80, I will say, oh, I continue. I'm not going to stop in after Paris. But first, I must be sound, and second, I need to have the opportunity. I can just not come back to Switzerland. I've been with the junior, but I cannot back to Switzerland. The only thing. The rest, I am free, and I like to be with a Brazilian.
Very good. We are really lucky to have you. So
yeah,
hopefully you keep going for you'll be sound enough for keep with us for quite a while now.
I am old now.
Philippe, you've been through a lot. You lived and done your fair part of things. What would be your strongest memory of it, of your whole equestrian life? I'm not talking about only the head coach job, but as a person, as Philippe Guerdat, your
okay, this is no doubt about this. Is the win of my son in the Olympic Games, and with the team, is not even the gold with France in Rio. Is silver individual and team in Caen in the World Championship, because was 30,000 people every day crying and put a lot of pressure to the riders, to me, with the medias, and was so complicated. And in the end, so great results. That was maybe the best memories. But okay, Olympic Games is also what you can have the most. But I won before the World Championship with Philippe Guerdat, and I had the luck you can have when you are a head coach to have good people in the right moment, and I had this. This helped me a lot. I was always able to motivate my people to make a team, but also you need good people. If I go to do my job in Mozambique, I will not make a team to go to Paris. Huh?
You're saying that you're not a kiss and cry person. You're not there. But how do you celebrate this? How do you feel? What has happened to you?
No, but I tell you, you can ask me. I don't really celebrate. I am happy and I can walk away. I can leave my riders as, okay, you can have a dinner, but I don't need, I didn't, we had a big party after Olympic in Rio, but I was the first to leave the party because it's for the riders and the owners, but not for people from the federation or for head coach. And no, we had a job. We try to make our job. We make it good when we won, but after the celebration is for the team, is for the people who make it, not the people who help to make it, because we are just people helping to make the thing happen.
I really want you to know that you are part of that, right?
I enjoy it, you cannot, but I am emotive also, I'm a guy, because I am affective with my riders. And it's true when you say in the beginning, when was Stefan coming to me, we were both crying, but it's normal if you are emotive and something like this happened and you know how hard work he was behind, you have to appreciate it. But for me, it's going to be 30 seconds and after it's away.
Philippe, you've been from a horse family, right? If I'm not mistaken, your father was a horse dealer. Your son, well, it's Olympic champion. Do you believe that the sport in horses is a way to keep the family and put the family together?
Yeah. Put family together, but there are many family with horses, with the rider, the father riding or the grandfather. But after you need the luck to have some people in one family, one guy who was riding better than the other one, because I had two sons and they were both riding in the beginning, but the other one, he does not ride anymore. And I mean, we have to appreciate this. And but I think it's not a key of success to be in a horse family, because it's always the father can be too strong and too hard. And really, because to be a rider, professional rider, if a morning you cannot get up and be happy to go in the stables, you will never be a champion. Never. And you see, the old generation was a little bit different, but today it's not many. There are some riders who are not really totally horsemen. There are some good ones, but normally this one who are not on 2 years or 3 years in the top. This one who are going to make a career for 20, 25 years. They must love what they are doing, and they need to be horse people. Definitely. It's easier in Europe because your people, and you see I have been many times, a few times in Brazil and to see competitions there, but when you see the riders in Europe, they are more involved with horses. I don't say there's nothing involved with horses in Brazilian, but Brazilian, you have another life, because there's some riders now, good riders in Europe, from Brazilian, when they have no horses, they ask me what they should do. I say, for me, the best is with your capacity of train and go to Brazilian and have a good life, and but to continue to fight for the sport if you have no owners or no horses is really hard, because even if you have this, it's complicated. So if you have not.
What is for you a truly horseman? What's the description of a horseman or a horse person, to be honest?
For me, one guy who accepts not to win, who likes to do what he's doing, and if he's not working, but he does not change his character. And an horseman is going in the stable to watch the horses. When you have two different riders, the riders are coming and the horse is ready, and they go on the horse and they walk the horse and bring the horse back and go on the next one. This is for me not horseman. Horseman is going in the stables, helping, also sometimes putting the saddle and the bridle. But I tell you, there are some riders that don't do this, and they don't know to do this. So for me, a horseman is, I see from far away these people who are horsemen, but it's complicated to explain everything.
Fantastic. Philippe, I've seen you in shows in Brazil. You've been to the Brazilian Championship of Seniors, I think 2 years ago. What do you think we still need to improve? And what do you thought of the shows, of course, the classes, but what do you think you need to improve to close the gap or shorten the gap between us and Europe? Because, of course, you have Stefan taking Primavera from here to Europe and having really good results. But how do we make that more often or more possible, if that makes sense?
In the end, to improve is the only way like Stefan is doing. Because the sport, I don't want to discriminate any part of the world. And this sport is a European sport. Even the Americans, the good ones are coming in Europe because. But now you see, you have a Grand Prix in Doha with 20 riders or 18 riders, and you come in Europe, you go in a World Cup competition versus qualification after just 40, and for the 40, 30 can win.
You're talking about the big shows and the big classes in Europe. Do you sometimes take a horse or ask for the rider to take a horse to try it to see if it can accomplish the difficulties, or do you think that can make the horses go backwards? You know what I mean?
Okay, we have to be careful. If somebody is coming in Europe, he does not have to start in Rome or in Aachen. I mean, Stefan has been in Europe before, and he knew how it is, and we make a progressive program. But when a guy is coming first time in Europe, he has to start with small shows. Because it's very different, it's going much faster and it's more delicate, more technical, but all the things are already in the smaller class, so you can work on this. But because I've been in Brazilian, even this winter I was there, there's some good horses and good jockey, good riders also, but after coming in Europe, it's different. And in the end, I told them they were not really happy, but it's my opinion. As long as I work for Brazilian, it's not possible really to get qualification for a championship if you ride just in Brazil. Yeah, for South American games or something like this, but to go in a World Championship or Olympic Games is not possible.
Very good.
Because, you are able to make one class, 160 like in Europe, but to produce this every second week and to go in the Grand Prix regular with one down or clear, that is more complicated. I don't say it's impossible, but if you stay in Brazilian, it's too complicated.
Yeah, I can say that. We talked about a lot about that when Stephen went to Europe and had good results. We were talking, okay, maybe we can do it. Maybe it's not that difficult. But then after that, reality came. Like the shows were not as hard as they used to be, and people had not the word results. So I think you're right. There's still the gap, and you have to go and do.
It's complicated, but I make a lot of progress because I saw classes last year championship or after the big indoor in Sao Paulo. There were big classes, but in these big classes there were 2 or 3 riders combination were good, and the rest was really too difficult.
You still learn from the riders?
Yeah. Every week.
What do you think is one of the biggest lessons one of the riders, your coaches and your teams had taught you?
I like to be in a practice arena and to watch how they are doing, and because I've been a rider myself, a rider also in a big level, but I was not bad. I go to Olympics and World Championship, but today the riders are so good. They are much better than the coach are, all of them. Today, you have so much quality of the people who are riding, so much quality. You have plenty of riders who are fantastic people. And I like to be in the practice arena to watch how they are working, what they are doing, and this one who are not working, or this one who are working very early in the morning, the other one just before the class. I'm very interesting, and that is always a lesson, because sometimes I saw this one is not maybe serious enough, and after when I watched to him, he was much more than I thought. Today, 4 for 5 are going to be a super rider, so to be in this level, you need to be really good. After, to win in this level, you need to be still a little bit better.
What is the most significant lesson about the sport for someone aspiring to reach the highest level?
This lesson is when you fall down, you have to get up because you fall down. It's not one sport where you can lose so much like in show jumping, it's why also our sport cannot produce some star like in other sport, In other sport, not all of them, but you have always some star who are going to win for 2, 3 years or 4 years. Show jumping is not possible because you win on Sunday and on Thursday you have a class, you had 3 down and everybody say you are not good enough, or it's not one rider who is able to stay in the same level for many years. It's not possible. So we don't create really stars. It's a little bit bad for our sport because to have more public and more people going to help the riders, we need to have some stars, but it's nearly impossible in our sport, I think.
Well, I believe you do. Of course, there's these riders and combinations that keep on winning for a while and that number one of the ranking for a year or a year and something.
Yeah, but even if they have this, you can go with them in a restaurant. If it's not a horse fan who is there, nobody wants to go to ask him for a signature or for congratulate him, or no, because nobody knows them out. I say, okay, in your country, when you're Olympic champion, you are recognized, but in your country, not in the world. But it's the only thing, because when it is the Olympic, is everybody watching in your country, and so it's a little bit more for the Olympics. But for the rest, when you win the European Championship or the World Championship, it's fantastic, but it's our sport. It's inside. It's not which page we have is the biggest newspaper in Brazilian. If Ed Stefan in the biggest newspaper, which page he was with the result?
Yeah, not front page, of course.
Not on first page, nah, but even in the sport page, he was not in the beginning.
Not in the beginning. It was just a note.
Yeah. And this is okay, changed a little bit the last few years, but it's still not enough.
Do you think there's a way to stop this bubble, like to make the sport known?
Yeah, but already now I think in Europe, when you see it's complicated because we have too many, little bit now is my opinion, too many different tours, in the end, how you want the people who are not horse people understand these rules. It's impossible. Even for us, it's difficult. We are every week in the show, and now this morning I was reading the schedule from Abu Dhabi because it changed always. From last year, it changed a lot, and now we are going just with 3 riders in second round, and it's complicated. And so we have to make the thing a little bit more simple, and also now is good money in our sport, but always when it's more money, the people are more interesting. This is also it's why the global was going to be before the Nation Cup and everything, because they give much more money.
Talking about changes, the sport has been changing a lot in the past couple of years, especially in the regulations. There was the hind boots a couple of years ago. We are now having this new form of Olympics for the second time. What do you think of these changes, and especially about the Olympics? Because we had 4 on the Pan Ams, and if we think about the Pan Am and bring with just 3 for the Olympics, and something like what happened tomorrow happens, it's all down the hill. So what do you think of the new rules, and how can you plan to have the better team?
We had a lot of meeting, and I was since the beginning always against these rules for Olympic, because we had this 50 years ago and it was a disaster, and now we start. Was not good in Tokyo, and we continue now, and I hope it's going to change for Los Angeles, but with the FEI it's difficult to change from our side, and but I hope something will happen. It depends. if the Olympic Games in Paris going without any problems, it would be impossible to change for. But if there is some problems like in Tokyo, then we'll have to change again. Because it's not possible, you have to push a horse to finish a course because it's Olympic Games, no. If you have a good team and you make 3 clear in the first round, you start with the clear in second round, and after happens something in a corner, the horse fall down, is eliminated, the team with 5 clears is out of the competition.
Another rule that changed like quite a while now, and I want to know your opinion about, because I was a really fan of the, how to say that in English, as on the World Equestrian Games, you had the final 4 swapping horses.
Changing horses, yeah.
Changing horses, yeah. Do you agree with the new format?
I think it's better. Okay, everybody has his own opinion, but I think I told you I am a horseman, and for a horse, when he has been jumping all the week for qualification, I was with Patrice Delamo in the World Championship in the final with the horse changing, and I was with Philippe Guerdat in Kentucky. But if you regard all the results, the horses when jump this final, after you didn't listen a lot about these horses, 1 or 2 exceptions like X, but the normal horses, you kill them. You kill them, and when you see the trotting in the morning, you think, yeah, okay, I'm not lame, but I don't need to jump. I don't want to jump. You see that, and for me, will not be a good thing to come back. But some riders I will like, huh? I could tell you, my son, he say always, it's horse changing. There's a good thing, but no, it's not a good thing for the horses. Or, we talk about the welfare of the horses. Even if we don't make enough, but we have to be careful because there are some people waiting to attack us with this, and for this we don't need to make too many things for the horses. I am in a position to say the horse normally should have a number of classes it can make in 1 year and not over this. Because there are some horses are jumping every 2 weeks and in a row, and they make 25 shows in a year, and this I don't like. But okay, it's your horse, and everybody's going to do what he wants with his horse. But I think we can make rules and say a horse can go so many times, and after stop, we take the middle, how many classes I went. But when you go, we have an application, you can watch this. But you see the horses that make 3 times more classes than the other one. And this is no good. But with the ranking, with the owners, the money, many things coming in a discussion like this, and you cannot arrange everything. But what was your question? I am not for coming back to this 4 rounds, because tell you the horses, they get a lot when they make this.
I can agree. Do you think our sport is in risk? We have been seeing and watching a lot of activism, welfare of animals, protection. In the Olympics, on the pentathlon, we had problems in Tokyo. Do you think we are in risk, or what do you think we have to do or should do to make?
I already answered your question. We are in risk because if we continue, if we don't change a lot of things, we in 20 or 30 years will be finished with riding horses. I mean competition. And for this, we have to make some rules. And now I think in Europe we have a lot of controls, and some federations that make a lot of things to make example and to make a proper sport, but we have to be careful, because if we go too far away, like you said before, we make the change of horses again, no, there will come the protection of the animal and say, this horse has been jumping 1,000 fences this week. So we have to be careful, but also not, we have to sell our sport better. This, I always said, with the right person and the right direction. But this is not so easy.
Agreed. Absolutely. I think we have to go. We have to go that way. What do you think, if you were in control, or if you could pick it and say, okay, now it's like that? What rules would you probably apply?
Oh, I'm not the right person to answer you, because no, I will get too much enemies if I do this. Too many enemies, yeah.
All right, then we'll skip that and keep on going.
No, but I have some idea, but after we have to discuss this, and I don't want to make some riders a little bit. No, it's not really about the Brazilian, but I mean in globality. I mean, it's complicated to make rules, and what we have to be all together to produce our sport safe like possible, and to make good application, and the people understand. And because many people, I don't understand our sport. I say, but it's not normal. This guy is sitting on a horse and jumping fences, and he get 40,000 euro when he is faster than the other one. We have to explain this, but explain everything. I think in Europe, in Germany, in Switzerland, there's some seminar now, and the people can go and watch, and they explain how it's going to work with the horses to jump a small fence. And because some people, I think still today, jumping is something against the horses, but it's not true. Many of the good horses I like to jump. Not all of them, but many.
Do you think that part of that is educational? Because lots of those things do not only happen in high quality and high top sport. Do you think education?
No, it's education in the first level. But, I hear always, because, with my position, you get always some return from people who say, I saw this and they make this, and it's not enough control in Brazilian because they can do a lot of things you cannot do in Europe. But I hear this, but what we have to do is educate the people, not to say this no good are doing and going to put one in jail. No, it is educate the people and make rules. You can control them.
Absolutely. Very good. Philippe, changing subject. How is that for you to be head coach of a team when you have your son in your home country jumping against it?
Jumping against him is not a problem, because I told you, a sport guy, if he win, he win. But if I am with a team, I will try to beat him, because it's my job. And when you make a job with passion, you can understand this. But no, it's not a problem for me. For me, it's not a problem, but he knows this.
Did you actually coach it, Steve?
Yeah, but after the proposition to get the Swiss riders, and again after in the beginning of my career, but again after Rio, and but it's not possible, because if he's good now, I will put him in a team. But this one I will say, yeah, he's the best friend of Steve, or this one is not in the team because Steve does not like him. And no, it's too crazy. This.
Too close from home.
Robert, when he was in Holland, he put one time his son in Nation Cup in second division, and was already a big trouble in his country. So I don't want this. I don't need this.
Does Steve still look up to you to when he has a problem, when there's something?
Yeah. We are still in contact and go often in his house, and we are close together, but we don't show this.
You don't show.
No, we are sweet. We are discreet.
Philippe, we are all really passionate about the sport. Like all of us are cheering for Brazilian thing, cheering for you. After Stephen went in Pan Am, everyone was really, really happy. And the expectations of everyone is really up for Paris. Like we are, as I said before, I don't believe I can remember a time when we had so many good horses and riders in that. What is your message? What the message you want to leave us for the public in general? They are so harder for you guys and
For the public in general, I will try to make the best team, like I already told you in the beginning, because it's my main goal. And I promise you, we will have a strong team in Paris. We'll try everything, but in the end, we need a little bit luck or more than a little bit, and we can make a fantastic result. But the other 9 head coach, if you ask them, they will tell you the same. I mean, I'm not special. It's not one of the 10 best team who will go there without an idea of a medal. And we need this, but we need to be a team and everybody fighting for everybody. Everybody fighting for everybody. That is the main thing in a team like a Brazilian.
I won't agree with you saying that you're not special because I don't believe we had these many good results in quite a while now. We had double gold in Lima. We had an individual gold in Santiago. We won 2 or 3 Nations Cup last year. We qualified in Barcelona. I think you're pretty special.
No, but when you say this, I hear this many times, but it's not like this. I like what I am doing, and I try to put, I told you, the right people in the right place and fighting with them and for them. Because I fight also. I cannot be like this in my office and doing nothing and don't taking a phone and don't answer and don't find a solution. Now we find out we cannot go in Ocala with 2 horses who are supposed to go because I have pyroplasmos, and the Americans, I don't want to make to help us. And this will be coming against me because was supposed to be a good team in Ocala, but now I have to make a lot of change because the horse from Luciana is Piro and the horse from Pedro Ven is also Piro, so they cannot go in America. They can go in a championship, but not in a normal show. That's why I say to you, we need everything on the row, on the best, in the same moment. Not if I have this one jumping fantastic in Abu Dhabi, this one in Ocala, and this one in Sangala, it will be difficult for me to have the best together.
Very good. Well, Philippe, I just want to thank you very, very much for the interview. It's been a pleasure. It's been my second time with you, and it's a lot of things to think about it and a lot of knowledge. So thank you very much for your time.
It was my pleasure.
Thank you for being with us and believing in Brazil and keep dreaming with us, because when you talk about dreams, everything is possible, right?
Yeah.
So
okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And I'll see you soon.